I used to love driving so much. It was embedded in everything that I did. I would drive around the streets looking for adventure and often finding it. In my dark moments, I went on a drive to clear my mind. It was meditative and wonderful. I didn't know what I would do without the ability to drive. Having the freedom is what I loved the most about it. I could go anywhere I wanted to and get lost in my own world, be in my head, get in the zone. One day after work when I was coming home from work, I ran a red light turning left. I collided with a car, and my car was totaled. I have not been the same since that accident. I got a concussion and was very traumatized. It was in the middle of a four-way intersection and I had to run in the street with my concussion to move the car out of the way from the middle of the intersection. It was rush hour traffic and I could have died 1,000 different ways doing that. My head hurt and I felt sick. I went to the doctors and with the cheapest medical insurance, they told me the obvious, it was a concussion. There was a ringing in my ear from the impact and my arm was in a lot of pain. What happened after that was a nightmare. I was staying up all night and sleeping all day. I was always exhausted and sometimes when I closed my eyes I could see the car accident very vividly. I was emotionally a mess as well. I could not get my thoughts to be clear and became deeply depressed. I was not myself, I changed completely. I began to rely on alcohol to alter my mental state and that led to a severe alcohol addiction. Since my car was totaled, and I couldn't afford to fix it for about 6 months it sat in my driveway. I would drink every day little by little, consuming over 3 bottles of alcohol a week. I lived in addiction for 5 months until I decided to quit. I got my car fixed but suffered the lingering effects of becoming sober and not dealing with my trauma, letting it lay dormant while I drowned it in liquor. I now suffer from severe anxiety and panic attacks, worse than I did before the alcoholism. I have panic attacks while I drive and have slowly been getting back to it, practicing how to deal with them instead of avoiding driving as a whole. It always happens when I am at a red light for too long, at a stop making a left turn, or when I hear something loud. Doesn't help that I live in an extremely busy city full of traffic. It sucks because I have to drive in the only car I can afford, which is the same one I crashed in. It's so hard every day to drive and it is so disappointing to be so disconnected and afraid of something I once enjoyed so much. I am going to start taking an SSRI to deal with the depression and anxiety from it. I hope that soon I will be able to drive without anxiety. Wish me luck. I just can't deal with the disappointment in myself anymore, and the feeling of letting others down.